Is it Manny? Could it be Manny?
It's definitely Manny, and the reason being is because Manny is never stationary. Manny is always on the move. You understand me? Nowadays, with how things go, and with Manny being who Manny is, if Manny can get to 12 rounds, Manny gonna win the fight. Because I know what it takes to be a Manny.
Right.
I know that if anybody can pull it back up, it would be Manny.
Breaking down how Manny Pacquiao could defeat Floyd Mayweather Jr. in a rematch, Roy Jones Jr. emphasizes that Pacquiao's mastery of footwork would be his biggest advantage, allowing him to create angles, close distance rapidly, and disrupt Mayweather's defensive timing throughout every round with consistent pressure.
What has happened in boxing is a lot of people have lost the art of footwork.
Right.
That's, I mean, not many people have footwork. So if you see a guy go out and box like you'll never see in today's time too often, a guy go out and box like Sugar Ray Leonard boxed Marvin Hagler.
Right.
He moved around, he fought when it was time, he moved when it was time. He understood how to use the whole ring to get a victory. Now guys don't do that. Pac-Man, fortunately, is one of those guys who knows how to use the ring. So he don't stand in just one place and fight. With that being said, if his legs can hold up for 12 rounds, he's the guy.
Eddie Hearn has stated that Manny Pacquiao is still capable of defeating many fighters inside the top 20 rankings, even at his advanced age, praising his experience, speed, and ring IQ as qualities that remain dangerous for active contenders today.
I think that, it's a very contentious subject, like, people moaning about Manny Pacquiao. I think Manny Pacquiao is still good enough to beat most fighters in the top 20 at 147 pounds. He's clearly not the fighter that he once was. You're not going to be at that age. I guess there's two questions. One is, should he be fighting again? And at the end of the day, if he's good enough to beat everybody outside of the top 20 in the world, then why?
Max Kellerman argued that Manny Pacquiao is a better pound-for-pound fighter than Floyd Mayweather Jr., pointing to Pacquiao's rise from far smaller weight classes and dominance across divisions, insisting Manny stands as a better overall fighter than Floyd.
Have one major bone to pick with this list. Floyd Mayweather beat Manny Pacquiao, it's true. Floyd is one of the top 10 greatest pound-for-pound fighters who ever lived. Tough to argue otherwise. But pound for pound, he can't be above Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao was a flyweight champion. Not that he turned pro at flyweight. He was good enough as a flyweight to be the lineal champion, the real champion. Now, he didn't win titles in every division. He skipped some of these, but I just want to tell you how flyweight, junior bantam, junior feather, junior light, junior welter, junior middle.
He rolling.
And he laid waste to these divisions. Yeah. He fought great fighters. He never ducked anybody. Yeah. Pacquiao, to me, other than Sugar Ray Robinson, he's still one. Pacquiao is the greatest pound-for-pound fighter who ever lived. I can't put Floyd above him.
Yeah.
Roy Jones Jr. has also criticized Floyd Mayweather Jr. for calling the rematch an exhibition, suggesting that at this stage a real fighter should pursue a genuine bout, not simple entertainment. In contrast, fighters like Manny Pacquiao are driven more by legacy, titles, and proving themselves than by chasing money alone.
Because we love fighting more than we love the money. If you don't give us a belt, what are we fighting for?
Right.
If you ain't giving him a shot, what are you fighting for? Or if you ain't promising him a shot down the line, what are you fighting for? If they didn't promise Big George a title shot down the line if he wins, what are you fighting for?
Money?
Because we don't love, we don't love the money.
Right.
We love this. This is what makes us stand up.
Right.
You understand me? The money, we'll get right for it. We'll try to get right. But if you tell us this on the line, that's a whole different.
But not only that, pride too, because you would fight Floyd without no belts right now.
Of
no
course
belts.
I would. Of course
so
I would.
pride plays a
I'm
big
different.
part.
That's just who I am. You understand me?
He said he's trying to be a regular person.
You feel me? I'm trying. But this right here for a boxer, a real fighter, I love the game. If you tell me you want me to fight for a belt, here I come. Here I come. And that's.
Lance Pugmire has reported that Manny Pacquiao made sure Floyd Mayweather Jr. signed a contract first before agreeing to move forward because Pacquiao wanted a legitimate professional fight and not an exhibition event.
Remember, these guys spent many years trying to make a fight between 2010 and 2015 before it finally got done. Manny said he actually signed 2 contracts to fight Floyd back in the day, and it didn't happen. And he said this time when it came around that they were negotiating for this fight that's going to be on Netflix at the Sphere, he said, I'm not doing anything until Floyd signs. You guys bring me a signed Floyd contract and then I'll sign it. And so that has happened. And so Manny is like, look, it's signed. He knows that this is supposed to be a real fight. He knows that this is going to be at the Sphere on Netflix. Nothing but that is going to take place. If he decides to walk away from it, there's going to be repercussions. There's going to be, I think the way he phrased it was, there's going to be problems. And clearly he's talking about legal maneuvers that would take place against Floyd. And he's calling his bluff. He's like, look, you can either engage in this fight that you have signed for, or I'll see you in.
Former ESPN analyst Dan Patrick claimed that Floyd Mayweather Jr. may have wanted to cancel the fight after signing, but could not because the deal had become too deep with major financial stakes and legal consequences, making withdrawal nearly impossible.
It felt like that somebody wanted to call this fight off, and they were told you can't. It was too deep, too deep in the game, and there was a lot of money at stake. And obviously, Pacquiao got in there, but he wasn't throwing any punches. And Floyd Mayweather is a boring fighter. I mean, the presentation is flashy, but he's a defense-first fighter. There's nothing to, when you watch him, you go, oh, okay, didn't get hit again, and he didn't get hit again. Tactically, he's brilliant, but not exciting. So, hey, if you sign up for it, go get him. It'll be September, so maybe it's a slow night for you, and you go, well, maybe I'll just buy this fight. Let me see these two guys lean on each other.
Roy Jones Jr. says Floyd Mayweather Jr. is not in his top 5 fighters of all time because, in his view, Floyd never truly fought opponents on his own level, often facing elite names past their prime, rather than testing himself against equally skilled fighters at their peak.
Floyd Mayweather, top 5 of all
No,
time?
not in my book. No,
Not even top 10?
Maybe top 10 in my book, yeah, but not top 5.
10.
He's maybe top 10, but not top 5. Floyd can fight, don't get it wrong. Floyd can fight. But here's what my problem is. Well, I understand, I know you're a Floyd fan, but here's my problem. Who did Floyd fight that was on his level when he fought? Only Canelo. That's it. Don't give me that stuff about the other guy that was going to prison. He know he's going to prison when he get through. No. And then to take it even further,
He fought Cotto.
Cotto was
Manny
not on his
Pacquiao.
level. Wait. See, stop. Let me finish first. Cotto.
You asked me a question. That's the only way I said it.
Cotto already was done. And Cotto an all-time great? No. Cotto's an all-time Puerto Rican great. Cotto is not an all-time great in boxing.
I agree with you.
He's an all-time Puerto Rican great.
I
All
agree.
right, so that's not a great fight. That's not on your level. Who else? Pacquiao. You waited till Pacquiao got knocked out by Marquez before you fought him. If you'd have fought him 4 years ago, it'd have been something. Because both of y'all were here. We'd have found out who the best was. You waited till Marquez knocked him out, now you fought him. If I wait till somebody beat James Toney before I fight him, do I get credit for being the greatest fighter of all time because I beat James Toney?
No, you don't.
No, I don't. So
Roy Jones Jr. has claimed that Floyd Mayweather Jr. never beat any truly great fighters in their prime, arguing that while Floyd faced major names, none were at their peak or on his level, insisting not one elite prime opponent appears on his record.
when you mention great fighters, right? 90% of your great fighters are black, the ones from the past. Now, with the Eastern Bloc coming on like they are, there's gonna be some great ones coming on now. Even with Lil Tony, as you see, these guys are gonna be great. They're gonna start eclipsing and be coming up there too. But right now, if you had to name 5 of the best fighters of all time, 4 of them gonna be black. You understand me? Who did he beat that was black in his prime, that was in their prime, that was on his level?
Former world champion George Kambosos Jr. also expressed strong admiration for Manny Pacquiao, saying he believed the Filipino legend still has enough skill, speed, and experience to defeat Floyd Mayweather Jr. in their confirmed rematch. Kambosos praised Pacquiao's elite conditioning and relentless fighting style, suggesting he remains dangerous against top-level opposition.
It's surprising. Obviously, I know Manny very well. You know, he's a true competitor. He's a guy that if you put something in his head, and obviously to create more history, he's a guy that's going to give everything and, you know, try his best. That's what Manny, one thing I always learned with Manny is give 110% and try your best no matter what. So yeah, he's going to give it his all. Again, you can't beat Father Time, but Father Time is hard, and it was very hard watching him fight Lucas, and you could see it. And then watching the exhibition he had with the Korean guy or the Japanese guy in I think last year, it was hard to watch. I know Manny, I know the man that I was sparring. I love that guy. So, but again, he's a legend, and he turns it on. He can.
Having trained closely with Manny Pacquiao in the past, George Kambosos Jr. highlighted Pacquiao's explosive footwork and work ethic as key factors that could trouble Floyd Mayweather Jr. again. He emphasized Pacquiao's hunger and competitive spirit have not faded, making him a serious threat despite time passing, and Mayweather's defensive mastery.
Being trained with Manny Pacquiao had to be a huge asset for you, because even though Bay was probably your biggest name opponent up until then, you know, you'd been... How many rounds had you done with Manny?
250 rounds over 3 world title campaigns.
So it started with the Jeff Horn fight?
It did, yeah. When Jeff got, obviously, the fight with Manny Pacquiao, I was in Los Angeles. And I was sparring his ex-sparring partners, Jose Ramirez and Ray Beltran. I was doing 5-on-5, and these guys are good fighters, former world champions. And Freddie come over and goes, you know, Manny's got the Jeff Horn fight. So yeah, I'm hearing about it. He goes, well, you're sparring his sparring partners. How would you like to go against your countrymen and help Manny prepare?
Freddie Roach believes a fully healthy Manny Pacquiao would overwhelm Floyd Mayweather Jr. He also argues Mayweather avoided the fight for years, citing demands and reluctance because of risk to his unbeaten record, only agreeing after intense public and media pressure.
Is that a fight that your team wants, Freddie?
Definitely. That would be a fight we would want. I would like to get that one back one more time. I know we can do much better. You know, we had an injury in that fight, but you know, regardless, we lost a close decision. I know Manny can do much better than that, and I really think Manny can knock him out.
Really? Right. Like you said, Manny had an injury last time. Now, Floyd hasn't fought in a little bit. He's 42 years old. Manny looks sharp. So you think Manny would knock Floyd Mayweather out in the rematch? Yeah, you know, Floyd's last couple of fights against a kickboxer and whatever the other guy was, he wasn't too impressive, and I think it's a good time to catch him right now. It's kind of disappointing that he didn't stay for the decision and let Manny call him out. he went home quickly. Was Manny going to call out Floyd? That's the one he and I won, and I'm sure he would have.
Freddie Roach has publicly suggested that one major reason the Mayweather versus Pacquiao fight did not happen for many years was because he believed Floyd Mayweather Jr. was reluctant to face Manny Pacquiao, fearing risk to his perfect record.
Do you think Floyd is scared to fight Manny?
Well, you know, he's 42 now, and Manny's a fresh 40. I think he's ducking us right now. Yeah, I mean, because you don't hear no negotiations, no nothing, no rumors. He's being very, very quiet right now.
Wow. Okay. If Floyd is watching this, Freddie, what is your message to him?
The contracts are there. All you have to do is sign them, son.
Are you hopeful that it will happen? Do you think there's an actual chance that it will happen?
I do think it could happen, yes. It's probably not till next year, but the thing is, it is a big fight out there, and again, a fresh Manny with no injuries. I love that fight.
Well, as a boxing fan, I would be really excited to see Manny get another crack at Floyd healthy. I think, you know, clearly he was inhibited, you know, with the shoulder last.
Meanwhile, David Benavidez has said that Floyd Mayweather Jr. return to boxing would only create major interest if it involves a rematch with Manny Pacquiao, arguing their rivalry is the only storyline strong enough to capture global attention again. He suggested fans would be far less invested in other comeback fights or exhibitions. Benavidez also predicted Mayweather would likely win if the rematch happens, citing his defensive mastery and experience. However, he acknowledged both fighters are nearing 50. Meaning age, timing, and decline could heavily influence performance and make the fight far less predictable.
What do you think about there's reports saying that Floyd may do a professional fight? Oof. What did you say? There's word that potentially Floyd might come out and do a professional fight.
Oh yeah?
What's your thoughts on it, as a fan?
I mean, as a fan, I feel like I see what they're doing. They see like the influencers just turned it into like, I'm not gonna say a whole circus show, but I feel like they see if these people can come in here and make all this money, then why can't the legends of boxing do that? I feel like they're all the legends of boxing looking at it like that. And I don't have a problem with them coming back and fighting, but I mean, it's not as exciting as it once was. You know what I mean? I mean, Floyd Mayweather's Floyd Mayweather, but who is he gonna fight? I mean, unless he fights Pacquiao again, I would love to see that.
How do you think a Pacquiao-Floyd rematch would go?
I don't know, but I would love to see it. I mean, if Floyd Mayweather is still who he is, I think Floyd Mayweather will win. But I don't know. We have to see. You know, they're both older guys. I think Floyd is 50. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to disrespect any type of way, but he's a 50-year-old man. You know what I mean? Pacquiao's a 48-year-old man too. So I heard something that Mayweather was going to fight Mike Tyson. So if they could do that, then by all means.
Critics, once skeptical of rumors that Floyd Mayweather Jr. was going broke, are now increasingly convinced he has lost major money, citing lawsuits, tax problems, and reported debts as signs of financial strain. Recent reports mention legal disputes and a multi-million-dollar tax burden, fueling belief his wealth may no longer be as secure.
By the way, when Floyd, the rumors were, or the reporting was that he was going broke, you were skeptical about it. Now that he's coming back, are you still skeptical about it?
Very good, Max. Yeah. Are you skeptical about it, Shady? That's one thing I don't do. I don't talk about no other athletes' money. I don't do that.
By the way, my hope is that Floyd isn't going broke. So, and if he is, that he makes all the money in the world for a Pacquiao fight and rides off into the sunset a rich man, I wish him the best.
I want to fight somebody. I don't care about the money and all that. Who you want him to fight?
That's not good with Pacquiao. Pacquiao just drew with Barrios.
And you see what he look like?
Yeah, because they're not on that level anymore.
So what do you think's going to happen here, though? What do we think's going to happen in Mayweather-Pacquiao? Are you interested in it? Is it a good fight?
Yeah.
I'll be watching.
I'll watch it. The first one was awful, but now they're 50 years old. Let's see it.
The rematch has been described as a massive global event and huge money-making spectacle, with promoters expecting enormous pay-per-view numbers and worldwide attention. Alongside this bout with Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is also scheduled for several exhibition fights in 2026, including a headline matchup against Mike Tyson already confirmed as part of a stacked lineup. Reports suggest Mayweather is planning multiple appearances before returning to professional action later in the year. Because of his global star power and undefeated legacy, every event he joins still generates huge financial interest. Critics say these fights are more about entertainment revenue, while supporters believe they keep boxing in the spotlight and attract new audiences.
About business. This is going to be a mega event. Doesn't matter how old they are. They're the two biggest names in boxing today, even if they aren't, necessarily the most active fighters. And Mayweather's going to have his exhibition with Mike Tyson in the Congo in April. Pacquiao's going to do one in Vegas with Ruslan Provodnikov, and then they're going to go towards the fight.
I don't know how
September.
you do an exhibition with Provodnikov,
Right?
by the way. I don't know if I would do that.
I wouldn't do that.
Man, he's not pulling punches, right?
Exhibition with that's like an exhibition with Drago, or like I'm going to do an exhibition with a wild tiger and a kid, like Provodnikov is not the one to do an exhibition.
Legendary sports analyst Teddy Atlas carefully evaluates both fighters' physical condition. On age, he sees no true advantage for either Floyd Mayweather Jr. or Manny Pacquiao, rating them essentially even. However, in terms of miles on the odometer, Atlas gives the edge to Mayweather, noting his defensive low-risk style had preserved his body through years of elite competition. On the other hand, Atlas believes Pacquiao holds a clear edge in reflexes, timing, and sharpness. He points out Pacquiao has remained more active, helping preserve reaction speed and fight rhythm, while Mayweather's long inactivity could slow his timing, especially in early rounds.
Right, I put even. They each get a check. They're both old, right? So that's number one. The number two was who's got less miles on the odometer. And because of the defensive style of Mayweather, I gave a check to Mayweather having the edge here. I mean, besides the Marquez fights, Pacquiao's been in some tough fights, right? Reflexes and timing and other boxing elements. Well, I gave the check to Pacquiao. At least he's had some fights, or at least one real fight, with Barrios recently. And yeah, Mayweather's fresher, but inactivity could affect his timing, especially early in the fight. So next one, power. Well, the guy who's always been the naturally better puncher, not the naturally bigger guy though, so that equals it out a little bit, evens it out. The naturally bigger guy is Mayweather, but the natural puncher was always Pacquiao. He gets it.
Roy Jones Jr. reignited debate over Floyd Mayweather Jr. legacy by questioning how meaningful his win over Manny Pacquiao really was. He suggested Pacquiao may not have been in his best physical condition during their 2015 clash, implying the victory did not fully prove Floyd's dominance. Jones argued context matters when assessing greatness, and if an opponent is not at peak form, the achievement becomes less impressive. His comments have renewed debate over whether Mayweather's legacy is defined by elite wins or by carefully chosen timing and circumstances.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez, because that's not the same Pacquiao.
Of course.
That's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game. Yeah, of course. But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever.
Of course.
When that's not how that goes. That's not reality. But in the business world, it is, because look,
Roy Jones Jr. also suggested that Manny Pacquiao will defied and unmatched discipline make him an almost invincible competitor in boxing terms. He emphasized Pacquiao's relentless training habits, faith-driven mindset, and refusal to break under pressure create a fighter extremely difficult to defeat when fully focused. Jones has often highlighted Pacquiao's ability to push through adversity, absorb punishment, and keep attacking with the same intensity every round. According to Jones, this combination of heart and discipline separates Pacquiao from most fighters because even when physically challenged, his determination keeps him dangerous.
How do you feel about Manny Pacquiao?
No, I
as
love
a fighter
Manny, and I'm
overall?
glad Manny going in too. I'm not saying that Manny is not capable. Manny is one of the dudes that I think definitely deserves to be in. Manny always has been and always will be one of my favorites because of the way he fights. I mean, a guy to come back after being knocked out in 2 of his first 3 fights, then come back and do all the things that Manny did, that story is also just as awesome as Vinny Pazienza's story. You feel me? I mean, come on. Most guys can't bounce back from a knockout period. He got knocked out early in his career twice and came back and did all that.
Do you think Manny Pacquiao footwork and speed would really be enough to beat Floyd Mayweather Jr. in a rematch? Or would Floyd's defensive style still control the fight? Drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe Knockout Revolution, hit the bell icon.